This is the KMBP 100 ESS01. This microwave has issues with its door. When you close it, the microwave does not want to recognize that the door is closed. And so you're forced to stand here and hold the door. So if you open it, you can hear it click. It clicks on this side, but it doesn't click on this side until you push and hold. If you let go, eventually it opens back up again and the microwave cuts off. So a little bit of pressure, it closes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open the door and we're going to look specifically at this switch. This is actually the actuating arm. These two Torx screws hold this switch in. You have one over on this side too, but as you can see, this one barely moves and you get your click. So it's being held against the door and it clicks. This side has to go in too far in order to get the click. It's practically all the way in at that point. And why that's an issue is because where it's hitting right here, the gasket on both the window and the door are actually thicker, and it's got to strike against this piece of metal. And if it's going in so far, you have to push on the door for these gaskets to compress slightly and get the microwave to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this switch out, this whole assembly, the switch holder and the actuating arm, and we're going to swap the switch location and put it in back where there is no switch, but it still uses the actuating arm. Okay, we're inside the microwave. First, you have to remove the top cover. There'll be screws. It slides into the back. There'll be screws on the front. Then you have to remove the side cover. There's a lot of small little Torx all along here, with a few in here, and there's a bracket you must remove as well. Once you're in here, we're looking at this piece right here. This is the switch. This is the assembly that holds it, and the actuating arm is in here. So we're gonna take this off by removing these two screws, and then we're gonna see if there's room to move this back and see if the actuating arm does any better. Once you remove the screws from the front, the bracket will simply fall away. It's held in by the wires at this point. So here you have the switch. The black piece is the actuating arm. There's a small spring on the back. And the white piece is actually the bracket that holds everything. As you can see, there is a very large gap between the switch plunger and the actuating arm's lever. So as you press in on it, it takes forever. There's a lot of movement to get to that switch before it can press it and your microwave can activate. And at that point, the switch, the actuating arm is buried into the assembly here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the switch, we're gonna move it to this location and see if that gap is gone. Okay, I've removed the switch from the housing. All I did was open those two prongs with the hooks on them and put it into the back. Simply just push down and it seats itself. Now you can see that the actuating arm and the switch are almost touching each other, which means when the actuating arm activates, it only has to travel half the distance because it's already touching. So the switch itself activates about right there instead of all the way in. So that should solve your problem with the door and the gaskets getting in the way from your actuating arm kicking your microwave off, but we're gonna test it. I have the switch installed back in its original location. with the 2 Torx screws, and the switch and the whole assembly the switch moved to the back of the assembly. So now let's listen to see if the switch closes on this side as well. So we'll open the door just slightly. I heard both. Barely closed it. And now let's shake it. I don't hear any clicks from either side. I might open the door. I get both clicks almost at the same time. We'll turn the power back on, get it placed back into the wall, and we'll see if it works and it doesn't cut off anymore. Reassembling the microwave, there will be 1 ground wire here to put back on, and there will be 3 connectors. On my microwave, this one is not used, but the orange and yellow wire, this one is, and this one is. After you've got all 3 of your connectors pushed through and secured, we're going to go ahead and secure the panel and all the screws in all the locations. And then we're going to put the power cord and its protective box back on the side. Now we've got the side bracket replaced. It has 2 1/4-inch screws or hex screws. You can also take them out with a Phillips, and 2 small black Phillips on the side. Moving up to the power cord. Power cord is held in by 2 more 1/4-inch screws. And this connector, again, it'll be pushed through. Just simply plug it in. Mine, this connector was actually recessed into the cabinet. I had to dig it out. So I'm just kind of leaving it out. And that's the unused one. And then the ground below it. It'll have a ground symbol on it where to place it, but it's right below this connector. The power box protector, or the protective box for the power cord, is back on. So total, to take this all off, there are 4 screws for this bracket. There are 7 T10 Torx for this panel. There are 5 screws for this cover. Once you take the cover off, the bracket that holds the power wire to the side of the microwave, there's 2 additional screws and 1 ground wire screw in the back. And then there are 2 more screws that hold the top of the cabinet on. Now that we've got the top panel of the microwave on, there were 4 screws, 1 here, 1 there, and 1 on each side. Of the other side, we're gonna push it back in. I built mine onto a bracket so that I can perform maintenance on it if need be, and or remove it. So let me get it pushed back in. We'll go turn the power on and we'll see if our repair worked. Okay, the power's back on. We're gonna test out to see if our repair worked. Okay, everything's put back in. 2 screws are holding it in, and the door closes like it should. We'll go ahead and hit the add a minute button. I'm not holding the door. This is usually when it kicks off, within about a few seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and mess with the door a little. Still hasn't kicked off, still running. So let's go ahead and open it, kick it off. Okay, I heard both switches activate almost at the same time right there. Okay, let's just go ahead and close the door normally and start it again. Okay, looks like it's gonna keep working, no problem. So there's your fix. Just switch the switch position on the actual bracket. And you don't have to pay anybody any money for this fix. My apologies, I didn't video taking the microwave apart. It's extremely straightforward, very simple to put it back together. And I know this is a frustrating problem for a lot of people who own these microwaves, so there's your fix.